Hi, Ashton. Thanks so much for joining us and welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Ashton, you are a wedding photographer from South Florida, and you also have a photo booth component to your business, right?
That's right. Yeah, you got all that correct.
Perfect. So curious, what made you decide to add a photo booth business to your wedding photography business? Tell us all about business. Why do you start and why did you add a photo booth?
Yeah, absolutely. I started a photography business because I was doing it on the side and I got a taste of actually doing something I was passionate about, and the idea of working for myself and waking up every day to a job that I like actually loved was like beyond me. And so as business started picking up and I was booking more consistently, I was like, I have to do this full time. And so I just took that blind like leap of faith and gave my business my full time energy, and it just took off from there. And I think as my business grew, I was like, oh, photo booths are a huge aspect of the wedding industry and entertainment. And if I'm not providing one, some other vendor is. And so I saw it as an extra stream of revenue to add to my business, and really as an experience to offer to my clients. And so it just makes sense in the photography realm to have this as an option in your collections. And yeah, I love it, and my clients love it. So it's a win-win.
Awesome. And I see, I know that you offer a lot of courses too to help photographers, become full time, which is so needed. And I mean, I also was the same. I took forever to quit my full time job to do photo boothing full time. And it wasn't until I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And it just like, it worked. And so many people are scared to make that step. But I love that you're offering courses to help other people do that as well. But what do you think is one of your main secrets, I guess, to success?
Oh, no secrets, just an obsession of learning and growing and not being content staying in one place. I stopped being afraid to invest in my business and bettering myself and bettering the business side as well as the creative aspect. And I think that's just what's gotten me to a place of immense growth, is continually taking steps that feel really scary. That first step really is going full time. And that's why my business course right now is all about the steps to going full time, and um, getting over those fears of what if, and flipping that on its head is like, what if though? And what if you were crazy successful and you loved what you did every day? And so you asked what's the secret to my success. I think it's really overcoming those fears and continually pushing yourself and taking risks, and just believing the reward is on the other side of those big leaps of faith. And I've continually done that, and I try to push myself every year to take another scary risk and keep going to places I didn't think maybe were possible for me. So I'm just really obsessed with the growth and the journey of and progress that entrepreneurship kind of takes you on.
It's definitely an interesting road. It's
It
got a lot of ups
it
and downs.
oh my gosh, it's a roller coaster, but
Yeah,
it's really it develops who you are as a person. And so I've just seen, as my business has grown, so have I as a human and as a person. So it's like, I don't know, I love that aspect of running a business. As much as it is up and down, it's a roller coaster, but I
yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way.
same. What's been your, like, favorite marketing strategy that you've done to date?
I mean, besides just being an easy to work with, kind professional, I'm really into like being referral based. And so that has a lot of intricacies to it. Client experience is huge for me. And so that's a marketing technique, is just getting a lot of referrals and having people talk about you and want to work with you over and over. Send your name to friends and family that are getting married or whatever. And I like to refer people too. I like to work with people that I trust and can rely on, or I'm confident in is going to help someone else. So within referral marketing, there's so many ways to get business for yourself and support other people. And I like to do referral programs with my clients and be like, hey, please refer me. And I'd love to gift you a gift card or something just to say thank you. And yeah, referral marketing is everything these days. And so implementing it into my business and making money off of it and supporting other people, it's like all around. It's been something new for me probably in the last year and a half of like, I want to be referral based as much as possible. And I'm going to implement that and kind of make it happen. So client experience has a lot to do with that and making sure you're giving an experience that people want to refer you for. And then just finding ways to get referral marketing in to my like business practices and make money off of that. It's really fun. And that's kind of a cool, there's so many streams of revenue with referral marketing these days. So did that make sense?
Yes, no, it totally does. I mean, honestly, a lot of the people who we have on the show always talk about how, they have the most success from referrals. And for my company, it's the same way. Like, actually, I was just looking at the numbers today with my marketing person, and we get like 68% of our revenue comes from referrals. And so,
Yeah.
like, that's a
Wow.
huge chunk of our revenue. But you were mentioning about, making revenue from other types of referrals. And I know you're one of the biggest people. I think I don't actually have the exact numbers, but I know that you refer a lot of people to buy the salsa booth for Photobooth Supply Co. and take advantage of the referral program that they have in place, which a lot of people don't necessarily either know about or maybe take advantage of it, but it is pretty lucrative. And I mean, I
Yes.
know I've looked at a lot of them, and I don't think, for those of you guys who don't know, it's like $500 for every photo booth that you
Yeah.
sell to one of your friends, or, it's not even a sale, I find, because a lot of times they're like, "I just need this." And you're like, "Here's my link."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did not know it was going to be that big. And so I, over the last year or so, have worked on growing my email list and just giving like value to people. And so one of the ways to give value is like offer things that work for you, and in my business course, I talk about like off season and upselling and how to make more money outside of just maybe what the box you've put yourself in of, oh, I shoot weddings. But I'm like, but there's so many layers to that. And so how are you expanding? And in it, just through my email list, I'm like, look, you can expand with a photo booth. And so I've thrown my link in, and people are like, that's genius, or I needed that, or I needed the push to buy that for my business. And so, yeah, making money off of just referring with my link has been amazing. And it's so exciting. Every time I get an email, I'm like, yes, because I also know it's going to benefit that person, and
Yeah.
it's a good business investment that's going to pay for itself and bring, you can market it all year round, even if it's off season for you.
Yeah, and especially for wedding photographers, I've always thought it's such a no-brainer to add to your business. Like, you already have the client, and it's so true. Somebody else is gonna do that job for you if you don't do it right.
Absolutely. I also like DJs offer it, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're so smart. Why are we not implementing that? And I think people are scared to invest, and they're scared to like make those jumps. And I'm like, you have to see the bigger picture. And it's a hard place to be. It's a little bit of a scarcity mindset that I find a lot of photographers are sitting in but I don't have that up front. And I'm like, but in the bigger picture, you're going to upsell and you're going to grow. And the opportunities that come when you do invest and you see, the pieces of the puzzle that could be for you, that's really where the opportunity lies. And so I waited on getting a photo booth too long. And now you kind of always kick yourself for waiting too long on things. And if you just take action, like those DJs are out there taking action. And so do it for yourself and do it quicker.
Yeah. That kinda answers the next question I had for you, but maybe you have a different answer, so I'm still gonna ask you. But what was one thing you wish you knew when you were first starting out?
Uh, yeah, I mean, definitely taking those risks and investing and um, not being afraid to take a risk because that's really where the reward lies. I wish that I also would have just not been so comparative to what others around me were doing, or really embracing that my journey is my own. I wish I would have known that from the beginning because it just keeps you in a place of discouragement. And when you kind of put your head down, stay in your lane, and determine what you're going to make for your business, that's really what's setting people apart. And a lot of people get stuck in like believing, oh, she's an overnight success, or I'll never get to that place. And it's just not true. You're just comparing and it's actually holding you back.
The overnight success thing, it's like, does that actually happen? I feel like there's, like, 3 people in the world that had overnight success. Like, even
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, he didn't just go from,
Right.
like, corner guitar YouTube to, like, next day living in a mansion. He still had to hustle through all the concerts and
Exactly.
all that kinda stuff, like
Yeah, like, you don't see the work people are putting in behind their Instagram posts or their Instagram
No.
following, so that does not exist, and, that just believing that is really discouraging, and that discouragement is not propelling you towards the success that you could have, and so, yeah, I wish early on I would've just not believed those kind of things for myself.
So, kind of following that question is again, a lot of people are struggling right now. It is definitely like
Mm.
the weirdest year in the history of events ever and weddings and all that kind of like weddings are totally different. Although, in the US still happening, especially in Florida, right? If I'm not mistaken, you guys are wide open.
We're doing alright, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What could you like what would you tell someone who's like maybe struggling right now or, has a lot of downtime in their business? Like what's something that you would tell them to start looking at or maybe some words of encouragement, anything really?
Anything for 2020 encouragement.
Yeah.
Um, a big piece of encouragement that I have applied to my life, whether it's in 2020 or just in like times of frustration or lack, is I encourage you to practice your mindset. As fluffy as that may seem, I have really put into practice my mindset when it comes to challenges. And obviously, we've all been dealing with challenges. And the thing about challenges is that it really reveals where our mindset lies. And I've become really passionate about this because when you make the decision to just back off or give up or be really discouraged by challenges, like again, you're not going anywhere. Like you're not making moves. You're not looking at things as an opportunity to grow or find different strategies to implement into your business. And instead of looking at everything as woe is me, it's like, okay, 2020 has been a challenge. Like, how am I going to get around it? How am I going to make things happen for myself? And instead of like being a victim of the challenge, a growth mindset is going to propel you into a place of this is tough, but I'm going to figure it out. And so if you're in that place of struggling and you're really frustrated or just discouraged at everything around you, like use that to propel you toward finding new ways for something to work, I think a lot of people have so many gifts and abilities and we just don't see it for ourselves and we've put ourselves in a box of like, well, this is all I have to offer. And that's not true. You have probably so many other abilities to make money or bring another stream of revenue to yourself, but you have to flip your mindset and go find that or just try new things and see what happens. And it just oftentimes is like in our head and we're down on ourselves and it's the up and down of entrepreneurship that's never going away. Like if we don't embrace the roller coaster, we're just gonna melt, under pressure. And
Mhm.
so, what I have worked on for myself is really applying a growth mindset to challenges, and then I overcome them, and I'm like, see, that wasn't so bad. I just needed to approach it differently in my mind. And so, with every struggle that this year has brought, being more creative and looking outside of maybe what you're doing for shooting weddings or shooting families or whatever business you're running, like where else can you expand and how can you get creative and believe that there's more for you than maybe what's available like in your own head, I guess. And that's just yeah, it comes down to a lot of mindset, and I think that's what's the difference between a lot of people is the way that they approach a challenge.
Yep, definitely. It's kinda just keep going, right? You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, you do.
That's awesome. Do you wanna tell us a little bit about your course? Because I definitely wanna plug that link in the comments of the podcast and on this YouTube channel. You guys have to check it out. I actually was like, by the end of your website, I'm like, "I wanna sign up for wait, I'm already full-time." But it was
Thank
really
you.
great.
Yeah, yeah. So I put the course together. I call it full time formula because I know what what it's like to be a hobbyist and like dream of being full time, or kind of all the pieces of the puzzle that it takes to go full time and also stay full time. So I've had photographers take this course who were already full time, but they were just kind of in a stuck place and they weren't making, the money they were hoping to, or booking consistently, or getting their ideal clients. And so um, it's just kind of a holistic business course that I'm really honest about, and I just share from my experience. I'm like, this is what I do, and this is how I get 50+% referrals for weddings, and this is how I've grown my business, and this is what I think you're missing if you're not booking and you're not making consistent money. And so, yeah, it's really exciting. I've offered the course like in real time to like a small group of photographers in like a group setting, but this is the first time I've like just recorded it and it's available to anyone. So I literally launched this week. It's been really exciting and a ton of people
Oh,
have got their
wow.
hands on it. Yeah, it's
That's
new.
amazing. Very cool. Well, yeah. For anyone listening, you got to check it out. I will link it in the podcast comments, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in the comments below there as well. Definitely check it out. Check out the website. Beautiful photography as well. But
Thank you.
Ashton, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really great chatting with you, and so many little tidbits of information that people can apply. And I think it's going to be a really great one, even if people just use that one piece of information. There's always one piece of information I think people can get away from all these podcasts, and it's been a successful podcast.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having me. This is so fun to chat.
Awesome. You have a great day.
You too.